Welcome, Grammar Pirates, to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about challenging verbs. This means verbs that we often mistake for another verb that has a similar sound or meaning. So let's see what I'm talking about. If I use the sentence above, what's the word that would be grammatically correct there? She blank at the table, and I want to use past tense. So I would say sat. It's an irregular verb, which can sometimes be challenging to remember the past tense form or past participle form. And in my second sentence, she set the book on the floor. The verb set means to place or to put. This is different than sat, which is in the first sentence. So that's where the challenge lies on those. Now, lie or lay, when you're using those two verbs, they mean something different, but oftentimes when you're speaking with people, they use them incorrectly. So you will lie down to take a nap because lie means to rest or to recline. However, lay means to put something in place. So you would lay the flower on the book or lay the pillow on the couch. So those two often are used interchangeably, but that's really not correct. If you're going to get up in the morning, you would rise out of bed. But if you raise the water bottle, it will be going up into the air. You'll be lifting it up. See why these verbs can be a little bit of a challenge as a writer? So there's a number of those. In fact, here's the list. And I have it here, and I want you to really look through it and see what we have. So we've got sit and set and lie and lay and rise and raise. And those are really, really important here. Let, which means to allow. And then we have leave, which means to go away. Lend means to borrow something, but you're giving it. The borrowing is the person who's receiving it. So if I lend you a pencil, I'm giving you the pencil. Whereas if you borrow the pencil, you're getting that pencil from me. And teach means to show someone how, and learn means to find out. There's a lot of other verbs, but those are the biggies. So we're going to run through the practice. And with these sentences, what I want you to do is write the correct form of the verb that's in the sentence. So I'm going to read the sentence incorrectly, and you need to change it to the correct form. So for number 1, the farmer had lent his bulldozer to his neighbor. Write it correct with the past participle. And number 2, the swimmer got a sunburn that raised blisters on her arms. Use the verb there in past tense. Number 3, Piglet had let the alarm clock buzz and gone back to sleep. Use a past participle. 4, Eeyore lie in bed and worried about losing his tail. Make sure that it's in past tense. And here are the answers. So the farmer had lent his bulldozer. The swimmer got a sunburn that raised blisters on her arms. Piglet had let was actually correct, so that one stayed the same. That was a little bit tricky. And Eeyore laid in bed yesterday because he was worried about losing his tail. So here's a little bit more practice. Out of the 2 words that are there, I want you to choose the one that is correct. So for number 1, the oranges in that bag. Number 2, his book by the side of his bed. Number 3, at the end of the day, owl down to rest. And finally, number 4, in the morning, he and goes back to school. So here are the answers. Leave the oranges in that bag. Number 2, he sets his book by the side of the bed. Number 3, at the end of the day, owl lies down to rest. And number 4, in the morning, he rises and goes back to school. All right. Grammar Pirates, keep practicing these. Use those noodles. Think about some of these verbs that can oftentimes be used incorrectly. And as you're writing and reading, pay attention to how everyone else is using those. All right, I will see you later. And I have the beach ball of death.